When should you flash your headlights at other road users? When showing that you're giving way. When showing that you're about to turn. When telling them that you have right of way. When letting them know that you're there. Oil in your engine. The clutch pedal will lock. The air intake will become blocked. The timing belt will slip. The oil seals will leak. What would be affected if you carry a very heavy load on your vehicle? The vehicle's gearbox. The vehicle's ventilation. The vehicle's handling. The vehicle's battery. You're driving past parked cars. What should you do if you see a bicycle wheel sticking out between the cars? Accelerate past quickly and sound your horn. Slow down and wave the cyclist across. Brake sharply and flash your headlights. Slow down and be prepared to stop for a cyclist. You have stopped in an emergency refuge area. What must you do before you rejoin the carriageway? Use the emergency telephone. Give an arm signal as you are moving off. Switch on your vehicle's headlights. Move away with your hazard lights on. What will happen to your car when you drive up a steep hill? The high gears will pull better. The steering will feel heavier. Overtaking will be easier. The engine will work harder. You wish to tow a trailer. Where would you find the maximum nose weight for your vehicle's tow hitch? In the vehicle handbook. In the highway code. In your vehicle registration certificate. In your license documents. How would age affect an older person's driving ability? They won't be able to obtain car insurance. They'll need glasses to read road signs. They'll take longer to react to hazards. They won't signal at junctions. You're leaving a safe gap as you follow a large vehicle. What should you do if a car moves into this gap? Sound your horn. Drop back further. Flash your headlights. Start to overtake. You're approaching traffic lights and the red light is showing. What signal will show next? Red and amber. Green alone. Amber alone. Green and amber. What's the most important reason for having a properly adjusted head restraint? To make you more comfortable. To help you avoid neck injury. To help you relax. To help you maintain your driving position. You're at a junction controlled by traffic lights. When should you wait at a green light? When pedestrians are waiting to cross. When your exit from the junction is blocked. When you think the lights may be about to change. When you intend to turn right. When must you stop your vehicle? If you're involved in an incident that causes damage or injury. At a junction where there are give-way lines. At the end of a one-way street. Before merging onto a motorway. What does this sign mean? School crossing patrol. No pedestrians allowed. Pedestrian zone, no vehicles. Zebra crossing ahead. What does this sign mean? Route for trams only. Route for buses only. Parking for buses only. Parking for trams only. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? Leave the engine running. Switch the engine off but leave the key in. Lock it and remove the key. Park near a traffic warden. Which sign means that there may be people walking along the road? What does this motorway sign mean? Temporary minimum speed 50 miles per hour. No services for 50 miles. Obstruction 50 meters, 164 feet, ahead. Temporary maximum speed 50 miles per hour. What's the speed limit for a car towing a caravan on a dual carriageway? 50 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. How should you drive when you're driving along a road that has road humps? Maintain a reduced speed throughout. Accelerate quickly between the humps. Always keep to the maximum legal speed. Drive slowly at school times only. What should you do when you're using a contraflow system? Choose an appropriate lane in good time. Switch lanes to make better progress. Increase speed to get through the contraflow more quickly. Follow other motorists closely to avoid long queues. You're approaching this roundabout. What should you do when a cyclist is keeping to the left while signaling to turn right? Sound your horn. Overtake them. Assume they're turning left. Allow them space to turn. What should you do when you see this sign at a crossroads? Maintain the same speed. Carry on with great care. Find another route. Telephone the police. You're following a long vehicle approaching a crossroads. What should you do if the driver signals right but moves close to the left-hand curb? Warn the driver about the wrong signal. Wait behind the long vehicle. Report the driver to the police. Overtake on the right-hand side. What's the meaning of this sign? Local speed limit applies. No waiting on the carriageway. National speed limit applies. No entry for vehicles. What do you need before you can legally use a motor vehicle on the road? An appropriate driving license. Breakdown cover. Proof of your identity. A vehicle handbook. Some two-way roads are divided into 3 lanes. Why are they particularly dangerous? Traffic in both directions can use the middle lane to overtake. Traffic can travel faster in poor weather conditions. Traffic can overtake on the left. Traffic uses the middle lane for emergencies only. You're about to overtake a cyclist on a road that has a 30 miles per hour speed limit. How much room should you leave them as you overtake? At least as much room as you would if you were overtaking a car. At least a car's width. At least a car's length. At least 2 car widths. What should you do when you meet an oncoming vehicle on a single-track road? Reverse back to the main road. Carry out an emergency stop. Stop at a passing place. Switch on your hazard warning lights. For how long is an MO certificate normally valid? 3 years after the date it was issued. 10,000 miles. 1 year after the date it was issued. 30,000 miles. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road? 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. What does this road marking mean? Don't cross the line. No stopping allowed. You're approaching a hazard. No overtaking allowed. What does this sign indicate? A diversion route. A picnic area. A pedestrian zone. A cycle route. An injured person has been placed in the recovery position. They're unconscious but breathing normally. What else should be done? Press firmly between their shoulders. Place their arms by their side. Give them a hot sweet drink. Check their airway remains open. What type of vehicle uses an amber flashing beacon on a dual carriageway? An ambulance. A fire engine. A doctor on call. A tractor. How can you reduce the damage your vehicle causes to the environment? Use narrow side streets. Brake heavily. Use busy routes. Anticipate well ahead. Your vehicle broke down on the hard shoulder of a motorway, but has now been repaired. How should you rejoin a main carriageway? Move out onto the carriageway, then build up your speed. Move out onto the carriageway using your hazard warning lights. Gain speed on the hard shoulder before moving out onto the carriageway. Wait on the hard shoulder until someone flashes their headlights at you. You're going through a long tunnel. What will warn you of congestion or an incident ahead? Hazard warning lines. Other drivers flashing their lights. Variable message signs. Areas with hatch markings. How should a load be carried on your roof rack? Securely fastened with suitable restraints. Loaded towards the rear of the vehicle. Visible in your exterior mirror. Covered with plastic sheeting. If you're involved in a collision, what will reduce the risk of neck injury? An air-sprung seat. Anti-lock brakes. A collapsible steering wheel. A properly adjusted head restraint. What's the national speed limit for cars and motorcycles on a dual carriageway? 30 miles per hour. 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. Where's the safest place to park your vehicle at night? In a garage. On a busy road. In a quiet car park. Near a red route. Who is authorized to signal you to stop? A motorcyclist. A pedestrian. A police officer. A bus driver. What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? 1 mm. 1.6 mm. 2 mm. 2.6 mm. What does this sign mean? Leave motorway at next exit. Lane for heavy and slow vehicles. All lorries use a hard shoulder. Rest area for lorries. What legal requirement must be met by a newly qualified driver? They must display green L plates. They must have a new photograph taken for their full license. They must be accompanied on their first motorway journey. They must have valid motor insurance. What can be damaged if you turn the steering wheel when the car isn't moving? The gearbox. The engine. The brakes. The tires. What should you do if the amber lights come on and a warning sounds while you're driving over a level crossing? Get everyone out of the vehicle immediately. Stop and reverse back to clear the crossing. Keep going and clear the crossing. Stop immediately and use your hazard warning lights. What must you do when you see this sign? Stop only if traffic is approaching. Stop even if the road is clear. Stop only if children are waiting to cross. Stop only if a red light is showing. You have to make an unexpected journey. You're carrying a 5-year-old child on the back seat of your car. They're under 1.35 meters, 4 feet 5 inches, tall. How should you seat them if a correct child restraint isn't available? Behind the passenger seat. Using an adult seat belt. Sharing a belt with an adult. Between two other children.